Hello, my name is Sally. I am one of the makeup artists with Look Fabulous Forever, which is hair care, skincare and makeup specifically designed for older faces. Today I have got the pleasure of the company of Carol and also her lovely friend Pam. And Carol and Pam entered a competition that they have won a makeover together of being best friends, and basically you entered the competition, didn't you? Because you've known each other a long time. And so their prize is to win a makeover and have a day here at Look Fabulous Forever's head office. So really looking forward to it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do Carol now, and you will then see the video of Pam when that is uploaded in about a week's time. I hope you don't mind me saying, but it is actually her birthday tomorrow. So she is, I hope you don't mind me saying, you're 76 today, but tomorrow is your 77th birthday. So it's really special that we've got a birthday makeover as well.
Birthday present.
And really looking forward. And what we're going to do is just a full makeover, just to make you feel special and to try out some of the products maybe that you haven't tried as well today. And hopefully you can all learn a few hints and tips about Look Fabulous Forever's amazing makeup. So let's get going.
Thank you.
So to prepare Carol for her makeover, really important to get your skincare right and to let it sink in. So not to go straight from skincare into makeup. So what we did, you cleanse your face, and we used a little bit of the Daily SPF 50+ serum, which I use winter, summer. I absolutely love it, and it means that the makeup goes on really well. And then we used a little bit of Smoother Face Day Cream as well, and we've let the moisturisers sink in before starting the makeup application. The other thing that I did, which again I like to do in the morning, is I put on a little bit of moisturising lip balm over Carol's lips, just to give her lips some extra hydration, which we will remove before we start putting lipstick on a little bit later. But that's quite a nice top tip, particularly in the winter if your lips are a bit dry, a little bit cracked. So the first product that I'm going to use on Carol is Smooth Like Silk Face Prime. And this, as I said, let the moisturiser sink in first. This is the first stage of makeup application. It's a face primer. It's clear, it's colourless. This is how much you need for the whole face, a couple of pumps. And I like to apply this product with clean fingers. What it does two things. It will smooth out any fine lines, any little imperfections that you have. It will just sort of make everything look smoother, hence the name Smooth Like Silk. And it feels like silk. I think you said this is one of your favourite products. Yeah, it's one of my favourite products. I absolutely love it. So any little fine lines, it just blurs everything. But it also, if you've got sort of open pores as well, it works with those. And then if you put your foundation on, or your Light Look Beauty Balm on top, it's like you have prepared a wall before putting the paint on it. You're sort of preparing it. So it means that the foundation will go on to a really lovely smooth surface and will stay put all day. So we've put the primer on. The next stage is to apply foundation Light Look Beauty Balm. To get the perfect tailor-made shade, I'm actually going to mix Continuous Cover Foundation in shade 2.5 with a little bit of Light Look Beauty Balm in shade 0.5. And that allows, as I said, perfect colour match and also a little bit of dewiness. And we're sort of between seasons going into winter. So it's quite nice to have that little still bit of dewiness because you've just been away on holiday as well. So mixing them gives you that perfect, lovely mix of two products. I'm also going to add a tiny little bit of primer. So you'll see what I'm going to do. So I've put a little bit of the Continuous Cover Foundation on my hand. And now I'm going to put a little bit of the Light Look Beauty Balm and then a little squirt of the primer, just like that. I'm mixing the three products together using my foundation brush number 10, which I love. Okay, so I like to start in the middle, and the brush is brilliant because it allows you to really buff the product in so it looks really airbrushed. And that's what we want. We don't want to look cakey, you want to still look like you, and you want your skin to show through, but just to be even, really. That's what we're doing. We're creating a canvas on which we're going to paint the picture. I love to apply and buff in with brush number 10, but then I get my clean fingers on when I do my own makeup and just literally pat in so that the warmth of your fingers just sort of melts it in even more. Some people like to apply the foundation with fingers, but I just think you get a more professional look with a brush, but you know, whatever works for you. What we're going to do now is we're going to just use a little bit of extra help on the areas of pigmentation, which we all get as we get old. And I think some of us used to sunbathe when we shouldn't have done with certain products. I wish I hadn't as well. So this product is called Cover to Cover Concealer. And it's a lovely creamy concealer. It's got tea tree in it as well. So it just gives that little bit of extra help where you might need it. I'm going to use my concealer brush number 4. I'm just going to use it just on the areas that need that little bit of help. Can you see here? There's a little sunspot. I've got one in exactly the same space, but it's on my other side. And I'm just stippling it on. I'm using shade number 303 here. And then just using my finger just to do that. And it's gone. Gone, like magic. Good. Magic. Good. I'm going to use a little bit underneath Carol's eyes. I'm going to go actually for a slightly lighter one. I'm going to go for number 2. So I'm going to put a little bit just into the corner here, where we often get a little bit bluiness, and it will just brighten up the eye area, just putting a little bit of lightness in that area here. And then I'm also going to put just a bit. You actually haven't really got dark circles at all. You've got just a little bit here, and then take my ring finger and tap. So just the warmth of your finger will melt the concealer into the foundation. So as you can see, we've now got a nice even base that still looks a little bit dewy and still looks natural on Carol. But what I'm going to do now to keep it all in place is I'm going to add a layer of our beautiful translucent powder, which is the finest translucent powder, pressed powder that I've ever used. So it will not sit in any fine lines, but it will just set everything in place so that it doesn't move, keeps any extra shininess at bay. And I tend to use my big powder brush number 1 just to apply a very, very light dusting all over. If you have concealed something specific, like a sunspot, what I like to do is use the press and roll action. So I just press and roll a little bit of extra powder on those areas that I have maybe concealed a little bit more, and then I take my brush and just dust off the excess. While I've got my cotton ball out, I sometimes take a little bit of powder and just put a little bit just here and here to stop any spillage when I'm putting my eyeshadow on. So if that's something that happens to you, just a top tip while you've got your powder out, and then you dust it away at the end of using all the eyeshadows. So we already used the face prime. What I'm going to do now on Carol is I'm going to use 2 of our other primers. One is called Smooth Out Eye Prime, and one is called Never Feather Lip Prime. So the first thing I'll do is use the Smooth Out Eye Prime. And this is a brilliant product. You don't need very much, and it's important to apply it to clean, dry, oil-free eyelids. And what it does is it will remove any kind of, you might have a little bit of broken capillaries or broken veins or discoloration on your lids, which happens as we get older. So it will just make sure that the base is a really lovely neutral colour, so that when you put your eyeshadow on, it goes on as a true colour. And it also will stop the eyeshadow from creasing, so it keeps it on all day. There's nothing worse than really creasy eyeshadow, so it just will keep it in place. And so that's the amount I use, not very much at all, as you can see. Tiny, tiny amount, lasts ages. I like to put it on again with the concealer brush and then use my finger, clean finger, just to sort of blend it in. But you can put it on with fingers. If you just close your eyes, lovely, thank you. So little goes a long way with this product. And you want to put it on to the area where you're going to be applying eyeshadow. So I'm going to put it on the mobile lid area, and then I'm bringing it up to just sort of the crease line, the brow bone area here, where I will also be putting a little bit of shadow. You can just use your finger just to smooth it in if you want to as well. So the third primer that Look Fabulous Forever do is, as I said, is a Never Feather Lip Prime. I like to do this now just so that I remember I've done the eyes, do the lips, because then it's dry and ready for when we put the lipstick on. So this is a product that does exactly what it's so never feather. So if you find you get feathering and bleeding of lipstick into the fine lines that we all get as we age, then this product will form a barrier to stop that from happening. So you put it on the outer edge of your lips, not on the actual lip area. So just on that outer edge, all the way around. Then just with your finger, again, just sort of press it in slightly so that it just goes in, and it creates a little barrier so that, as I said, the lipstick won't move. It's brilliant. Sometimes I like to do the brows at the end of eye makeup, but if somebody has got very few brows or hardly any brow hair, then it's quite nice to do it at this stage before putting on the eyeshadow so that you've got a reference frame for your eyeshadow. So that's what we're going to do with Carol. So we're going to use Bring Back Brow Shape in brown. And this is a product, it's very, very clever. Even if you do not have a single brow hair, you can actually paint in individual hairs and then soften the effect using our spoolie brush, which is what I'm going to do. Bring Back Brow Shape has a little ball bearing in it, so you need to shake it. It is a liquid and it's got a very fine paintbrush, so when you open it, make sure it's upright, otherwise it will tip out. Shake it first. When you take it out, you can see there's a very fine brush. It is actually a paintbrush. And with the brown one, which is quite dark, what I like to do is just take off a little bit of the excess, either on my hand or onto a tissue, just so it's not really full of product when I first use it. Right here. This is just giving me a little reference point of where to go. So I'm starting in the middle. And then just little tiny strokes. If you're struggling with shaky hands, you'll put your little finger and rest it when you're doing it onto your cheek, just to give yourself a little bit of stability. And slightly upward strokes. I start with less, you can always put more on. It's better to start gently. And if you blob, don't worry, because we're going to use the spoolie brush to soften it at the end. It's waterproof as well, so you don't have to worry that it's going to just come off in the rain, or if you're swimming. It's just a very clever product. The secret to this product is you do it sort of roughly like I've done. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect at this stage, because you then take your spoolie brush and soften it. So even if you have made the odd blob or it's just not quite perfect, by doing this, it just makes them look really, really natural. Another really lovely top tip, if you've got no brows at all, use the Bring Back Brow like I've just done, and then take a little bit of the matte shadow, wedge brush number 8. This one is dark taupe, and I'm going to take a little bit up on my wedge brush and just add in that tiny bit of extra oomph. So now we've done Carol's brows, what we're going to do is create a little bit of shaping on her eyes using our beautiful non-shimmer eyeshadows, and I'm also going to use our lovely creamy eyeshadow stick. So the first colour that I'm going to use is Cappuccino, which is this one. It's a really lovely neutral colour, but I'm going to put that as a base, and because the shadows are non-shimmer, they are really good on older eyes. They're really flattering, and you can build up as much or as little as you want. I'm using my eyeshadow brush number 7. So this is the second colour I'm using, which is beautiful khaki, which will go really nicely with Carol's beautiful eyes and her colouring. So I'm hoping that she'll really enjoy trying this colour. So I'm using a smaller brush. I'm using our brush number 9, because I'm going to basically put it just, you can see the colour, it's a lovely warm khaki green, just above the crease really, just to create a slightly false socket line. I'm just bringing it down onto the base of the lashes. This is a really warm green, so it will enhance the little sort of flecks in Carol's beautiful hazel eyes, and she's wearing this lovely champagne, really pretty blouse, so it'll look nice with her outfit too. As we get older, it's important to put it a little, if you open your, just look straight ahead, yeah. So you want it so you can just see it when you've got your eyes open. So sometimes when you're putting it on yourself, do it with your eyes looking relaxed straight ahead and sort of open to get that starting point, rather than closing them or looking up or sort of changing the shape of your eyes. And then you'll create that nice sort of false socket line, because as we get older, most of us, our eyes go a little bit more hooded. So you're pushing a darker colour in to push back. I'm now going to just add a little bit of our beautiful creamy eyeshadow stick in Champagne, which again will just create that little bit of pop of light, which will work really, really well with Carol's beautiful blouse that she's wearing as well. Really, really good product for older eyes. It allows you to have that little bit of shimmer, but it's really hydrating and it doesn't sit in sort of fine lines. So I like to use just a small amount in the middle sometimes, just for that little pop of light, just like that here. And you can also use it if you want to in the inner V as well. So I'm just going to just use my brush just to blend it very slightly. So if you just open your eyes and close, you'll see there's just that little bit of light there in the very centre bit. I'm going to use one of our soft eyeliners in dark brown on her top lashes, not too much, and winging it slightly up. So I'm not going to go all the way along, I'm just going to put it on that outer, probably third half area. I'm using the dark brown because that will also make her lashes, which are dark brown colour, look even darker and sort of give them that little bit more volume from the base. So I tend to start at that last eyelash, little short strokes, making it slightly wingy up, thicker at that last, and then tapering it so that it just disappears into the lashes, so that you're doing it right on the base of the lashes, just to create that little bit of fullness on top. I'm just going to set the top one before I put the underneath. I'm going to do a different colour underneath just for fun, with again that lovely dark taupe that I used on Carol's eyebrows. I'm going to use my wedge brush again and just go over that colour just to set it. It's like you're putting a powder on it and you're softening it. So this is a really easy thing to do, and if you don't want to use an eyeliner, you can just use the eyeshadow, because it's matte, as an eyeliner using the wedge brush. I like to do both. So underneath Carol's bottom lashes, I'm going to apply a slightly green colour. I'm going to use our beautiful forest green soft eyeliner, which will enhance the khaki that we've used on the top and just create a little bit of extra colour. So I'm going again, not all the way, just about halfway, and just bringing the bottom up to meet the top. So I'm going to set the bottom with forest green, which is a darker green, and again my wedge brush. I could have used the dark taupe, but why not use a different colour, as it's your birthday tomorrow, so we're going to use the forest green. Just if you just look right up, I'm going to just literally go over that green, which again will soften and help to set it really well, add that little bit of extra definition. New top tip from Sally. I discovered this on holiday in the summer when it was really, really hot, and I wanted to wear a little bit of eyeliner, but occasionally, because it was so hot, it would just migrate a little bit. I took my wedge brush, some translucent powder, quite a lot of powder, and just went underneath, not on, underneath my eyeliner, and it just stopped it from moving. If you've got runny eyes and your eyeliner moves, try it. I'm now going to put some mascara on to finish the look on Carol's eyes, and I'm going to use Live Lash Mascara. I'm going to do one coat in black waterproof, and then I'm going to put a second coat of brown waterproof, just to give her that effect of brown black, which is again something you can do. These are brilliant. They don't clog. They coat the lashes, they don't have filaments, and so they don't go spiky, and it means that your lashes will still look like your lashes, but they just look a little bit darker, which as we get older, most of us lose our lashes, or they go paler, or we lose clumps of lashes. So for me, mascara is definitely one of my desert island products. Wiggle from the bottom, so you get more of the product in the base of your lashes, and then just bring it through to the ends. I tend to sort of start in that middle area. We want to get nice lots of volume in that middle area, which will just open the eyes up and then just bring some to the outer corners. So I'm now going to use just a second coat using our brown waterproof mascara, just to give it that little bit of brown, which will again go beautifully with the colours that we have chosen for Carol and her hazel eyes. Could have done it the other way around. You could have put the brown on, then the black, but I quite like putting the brown after the black. It sort of shows a bit more. Because Carol is warmer, I'm actually going to apply a little bit of bronzer after the blusher. If you are cooler in colouring, I would do the bronzer, if you want to wear bronzer, at this stage. I would put a little bit more powder on, and I would also put a bit of powder on the neck area and use the bronzer. But because she's warmer, I'm going to do it afterwards. No wrong or right, but that's how I like to work. So, Desert Rose. We're going to use one of our beautiful creamy blushes. This is called Desert Rose, and it's a lovely colour that I think will just enhance. You've got beautiful cheekbones, so we're going to just enhance those with a bit of blush. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit and with my finger just sort of on the cheekbone and springing it up. You don't want to go too low with blusher as you get older. Everything a little bit higher and swept up. We'll just lift a little bit, and then we'll get our lovely brush and just I like to do it holding it quite firmly at the bristles and just sort of slightly circular, bring it up. This is really nice, particularly if it's the end of the summer and you've still got that little bit of summer glow and you just want to keep it going through the winter. This is our Enduring Summer Bronzer. It looks scarily orange. It doesn't come out this colour, it really doesn't. So don't be frightened of it. So I'm actually going to use a little bit just over the blusher actually, just because you are warm. I'm sweeping it up. So I'm still using my blusher brush at this point. Now I'm taking my powder brush and I'm going to just put a sweep of it just onto the temples, and I'm going to sweep a little tiny bit down Carol's neck area, just here. Sometimes we have floating faces. For me, it's definitely, I need to put a little bit there. Doesn't catch the sun there. So the final pièce de résistance that I'm going to use on Carol is the Instant Bright Highlight, this one, just to add that little bit of light in a couple of areas. So this is a really lovely, it's a little clicky pen. I'm going to put a little bit just under the highest part of Carol's beautiful brows that we put in. Just use my concealer brush just to blend that in, just to create that little bit of highlight in the highest part. I like to put a tiny bit also just onto the top of the cheekbone, just so that when Carol turns, she's got that little bit of dewiness without it looking shiny. So to finish the look, we are going to use a lip liner, some lipstick, and a little touch of gloss as well, because it's your birthday tomorrow. So, Defining Lip Liner in Strawberry, which again, like the eyeliners, super soft, which is really important for older lips. Older lips, I think, are sensitive, and they're also sometimes a little bit thinner, so you don't want anything that's going to drag at them and feel dry. So I took off the moisturising lip balm. That's important at this stage, to have taken that off before doing this. So I like to outline first and then fill in. So I'm just going to roughly fill in, that you're not ever left with a line of lip liner if your lipstick does come on. I'm going to use one of our beautiful lustrous lip shades in Russet, which is again a nice warm autumnal reddy orangey browny colour, which will look really, really nice. So again, you can apply it directly from the bullet. So I'm going to use a lip brush to get a really professional look. This is our lip brush number 5. Our lip brush number 5, which just gives a sharper, more professional look. So they've got a slight sheen without being, so they're not totally matte, but they're not really, really glossy. They're just lovely, lovely textures. I'm just going to add a tiny little bit of our gorgeous gloss lip shine in Cinnamon Kiss, which is one of our warmer ones, just in the centre of Carol's lips, just to add that little bit of glamour. Just to create, if you put a little bit of sheen in the centre of lips, it creates that little bit of fullness as well, because you're reflecting light away from the thicker area of the lips. So as well as it looking glamorous, it just gives that beautiful little bit of sheen. Okay, so we have finished. I'm going to now show Carol, we've just put her hair back down. I'm going to show her the finished look, and hopefully she likes it. There you go, have a little look.
Oh, thank you. Oh, yes, very much. Well done. Yes, very pleased.
So I hope you've enjoyed it. You've been
have.
a fantastic model, and it's just nice to see some slightly different colours, isn't it?
It is, very much so.
And I hope that you've all enjoyed watching today. I hope you have gained a couple of tips from me, and we'd love to hear your comments. We always love to hear from you. Well, as I said, we will put forward the video of your friend Pam, who is
Yes.
also here, next week, so you'll be able to see that next week. So looking forward to that as well. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being a brilliant model, and happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.